Hello everyone, we're doing a pick a card today. So there are 3 piles here for you to choose from, or you may listen to more than one if you want. There are separate tarot decks. So the only thing I've seen is the bottoms of these decks. Each reading has these 4 decks and then their own tarot, okay? So we have 6 of Wands as the bottom of this deck, the first pile. The second one has Strength. And the third one has the 3 of Cups reversed. That's the vice versa deck. So light seers, Rider-Waite, vice versa. The bottoms of the decks are Gold, Cornucopia, Free Yourself in reverse, and I'm so tired of sabotaging this connection from the Twin Flames messages. So I will take those into account in each reading. I was going to put a crystal with each one. So I'm going to put the Violet Lemurian with the third deck, the Kunzite with the first deck, and then the Moss Agate Moon with the second one, if that helps you at all. Let us get started. And we're at 148. So I'm just really asking what's next here. What a fascinating start we have. Magician reversed, 9 of Cups, Hermit, 4 of Cups, 5 of Wands reversed. Wow, King of Cups, King of Pentacles. I really didn't expect that. And I was going to tell you, and I didn't. While I was shuffling this deck, the Queen of Cups fell out. Okay, indigo blue, copper. So Soulmate in reverse, definitely twin flames here. I'm so afraid of rejection. I pushed you away because I was scared. I have the feeling that your masculine is getting a tremendous amount of signs about you. And you may even be like inadvertently posting some of these things yourself. Like, I know it sounds funny in a way. When I was very first at this journey, I would like try to test my twin telepathically to get him to post certain things, and it worked a lot of the time. I feel like he might be doing that to you. It's like, that's not the right analogy. He's like trying to get himself above doubt, right? And a lot of things in his life, like everyone in his life told him he wasn't enough. He wasn't good enough. Like, I feel he had a pretty strong situation with people he felt were soulmates or very close to, that abandoned him, left him, rejected him, hurt him. And then finally, you came along. We have a 10 under there. Now I gotta look. Another 6 and a Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I have seen a lot of 6s in this shuffle. You came along and like validated everything he intuitively felt about himself. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you were younger, you had this feeling like, oh, I want to do great things. I want to be someone that does a great thing, that helps the world, that is like, that brings their light to the world, you weren't consciously thinking these things, but you were being like driven to share yourself with the world. And it's really not until you become more of an adult that you're, I mean, yeah, you might be surrounded by parents and stuff that tell you like, stop dreaming so big, stop trying to make things happen, that will never happen. You can't even clean up your room. How are you going to direct a movie, run a company, win a marathon, whatever it is, anything, right? Whatever you wanted to be, your parent was like seeing it from an adult, quote unquote, perspective, and in their way trying to assist you, but really kind of just throwing water on your fire, right? Trying to like come back down to reality. And so then he met you, and you saw this magic. There was something about the meeting of you that like woke up that cosmic connection again, that inner light, that expansive freedom, and turned on the intuition that was always there, but he didn't really know what it was. And I feel like, so there are two kings here. We can't ignore that. You may have to make a choice between two people or situations, but I feel that he's intuitively being guided to overcome a lot of challenges here and to like win again. Like he wants to win again. He wants to be victorious. And he definitely wants people to know you're his. Like there is a burning passion here for him to reveal himself, his victories, and you to the world as like, look what I can do. This is who I am type. I'm gonna win, you know. This energy right here is a very strong energy. It's I'm gonna win energy, right? And he's recognizing that there is a recognition here that he didn't see before, and it's only recently kind of downloaded or been perceived by him in a way that's like, oh, this stuff really, I changed. This stuff started happening. I like started healing and overcoming and changing and realizing who I am when I met my counterpart. And so there's 3 cards here of being afraid and fearful of being kind of committed to you or in this relationship. There's a very big fear of, sorry if you can hear my noises. You know, the surest way not to get rejected is to reject someone first, and the quickest way to solve this fear of having to be vulnerable in a relationship is to like push them away or sabotage the connection, right? And I feel here there was a lot of patience on your part of allowing the healing, allowing the growth and the movement to happen here. You know, the only thing we don't have here is swords. And it's an interesting kind of thing because all of these message cards are like mental, they're emotional too, but they're like, fear is of your mind. And I see him overcoming, I'm going to get an Osho card. I see him overcoming the fear and really dealing with the emotions. So interesting. Again, there we have that card. The last 2 days, I really talked about it. Overcoming this darkness, this fear, and pushing up into the light, right? We see the light. The light has dawned. And the light has... He found the source of the light inside. But there's a healing process that has to come, right? I think this is an important card, is that when you move from trying to control, for lack of a better word, the matrix, to allowing, right, going with the flow, and then understanding that you're the like creator of the dream, right? He has been dreaming about you. You see here in the constellations, there's 2 people together, and this person is longing for that and not understanding that this is what's here to come. Understanding that when you understand that you're the creator of your reality, you also understand that you create all the obstacles too. And you, for someone who has been in a victim mode for a very long time, that is a huge lesson, a huge, it's almost like this grieving process of like, wait a second, you're telling me I was the one doing this to me the entire time? Okay, so if you want a reading, I am available, and it's in my Etsy store. And if you like and share and subscribe, I would really, really appreciate it. And so we're at 12:45 for the second pile, which is this Rider-Waite deck, moss agate, and underneath it is strength with the Fool. Very interesting. Okay. We had Hermit in reverse and Magician in the last pile. I'm just sorry, translating between the decks. So, Hangman, Magician, 4 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Page of Swords. Some of you may have a big age, status, cultural difference between you guys. Make the effort. Okay. Interesting. So there's a lot of crown chakra energy here. A lot of spiritual energy downloading in this. Let's see. You're both looking backwards. The feeling I'm getting here is, it is a bit similar to the first pile, but different. You're both in this pause here. I personally would probably say this is a no contact reading, or very little. Your masculine really wants to talk to you. In fact, I would say that's what's about to happen. Again, so let's look at the bottoms of the deck. There's cornucopia, gold. I'm so tired of sabotaging this connection. Free yourself in reverse. And then the garden and the gate. It's a very, and the 4 of Pentacles. It's a very kind of trapped feeling. So here in this reading, we have some swords. We don't have any cups, except the magician has all of the elements. I am thinking that you guys are looking back as to how did you get here? How did you get here? Man, I get this energy from you that's like you're kind of over this whole thing right now. I don't know. I feel like there's a level of surrender in that Queen of Wands that I don't normally feel. Everyone, including me, usually uses Queen of Wands for the karmic, but here I'm using it as the Divine Feminine. And I feel like something has gone on here where the masculine kind of shut down. Either you attempted to like hold this vibration that was very stable and maybe reach out to him or give him some kind of very small offer that made him like shut down even further. Now, if that's not your story, it could be that your lack of effort really has affected him, because he's really looking all the way back and he's thinking about, where did I go wrong in the beginning of all of this? Or why did all of this stuff happen? It's not necessarily like a go wrong energy, but it's like, I feel like I had, it's like someone, okay, it's like a genie appeared and it was like, I'm going to make it a non-person analogy, right? They're giving me a non-person analogy on purpose. So a genie appeared and was like, I will make you your ideal picnic basket. And they are giving me like this a basket analogy. You tell me everything you want in this basket to enjoy and bring you like the most pleasure you've ever had, and I will bring it to you. But then the genie appeared and brought him his basket, and he's like, this is a trick, that you poison my food, you have an agenda, right? I don't trust, why would anyone give me something that's like this perfect? I know you're out to hurt me, you're out to get me. And so this is what he is figuring out about himself. He's figuring out that if you have this guarded heart, right, because he's been hurt and he doesn't like to give, because in the past, giving caused him a lot of pain. Morality. Huh. Yeah, I really feel this like in two minds energy. It's interesting energy, almost a Gemini energy. Yeah, he's putting this puzzle together by, look at how similar those, look at the clouds. He's putting this puzzle together. Understanding, and then more clouds. Nothingness. This is a complex character, I'm not gonna lie here. There's a lot of intricacies to this energy that I'm feeling. And it's like, all I want to do is talk to you. Right? The desire behind it all is very simple. But the way that he's going to actually make that happen is so complex and convoluted. No one would ever be able to like pin it on him. This is this energy underneath it all that I get. You're never going to be able to come to me and be like, why? What did you want to talk about? Why did you want to talk to me? It's almost like he's going to get you to come to him and ask him to talk. And there's this mirroring really strong going on here because, as I said, you're both looking back. I haven't had a reading like this in a while because it's really, really an interesting energy. Looking back and just like, okay, I see. So it's kind of like they're telling me, like, imagine trying to reverse in a car, but the mirror you're using is like a funhouse mirror, or it changes all the time. And you never know for sure, like, what the perspective is, what the depth is, all of these things are like constantly shifting and changing. And okay, he really expected you to do certain things that you didn't do. It's kind of like you zigged when you should have zagged in his mind. And vice versa in a way. Like, it's like you can feel what's going on, but you never really know what's coming because your hearts aren't connected. And there's more fear here on his part than yours. It's like, I want to reveal myself to the one person that can put all those puzzle pieces together, because he knows that you can see through his tricks, right? He keeps everyone else guessing. He keeps everyone else on edge. He keeps everybody trying to solve the like riddle. There's a riddle here. And he knows, even though you might not play the same games, you're just as complex. You're just as, for lack of a better word, ever-changing, mirrored. I don't want to say like you guys are being fake. It's just that you're so complete in your emotional understanding that it's not even really difficult for you to know what someone else wants and to give it to them, right? In a shapeshiftery type of way. This is a mercurial magician energy, right? So a lot of people have problems with that energy because it's just like Mercury, right? You can't really control it. It can be very toxic. But a Mercury energy is always going, I see where they're going with this now. It's always going to mirror to you in a very liquid, changeable fashion. Yourself. Like, in a way, clouds in the tarot can represent, when we don't have clarity, right? And I feel like this is a big lesson in both of you for really being honest about why you're giving what you're giving and why you're getting what you're getting. And there's a piece of this puzzle coming together about he could come to you and he could talk to you and vice versa, right? But he's aware that there's a heavy karma to pay for deceiving you. And I think maybe for the first time since he was really hurt, he is understanding that his intention with you needs to be very pure. It can't be this guarded energy where he's going to show you a bunch of smoke and mirrors and then expect that you're going to fall in line like everybody else. Now, at one point, you may have bought into the facade, right? But that was your own lesson to learn. And there's a heavy recognition here that his tricks have made you a much stronger, so don't take this word the wrong way, but like opponent in terms of chess playing, right? In terms of strategy. He may have never met anyone that could outmaneuver him in that way, right? And it's funny because I get this really intense feeling that he's watching your every move. And you're like, I'm not watching your moves and I will still outplay you, right? Because that's the confidence of the Queen of Wands. Now, the Divine Feminine is always a step ahead of the masculine because that's how it works. And you are indeed letting him see a lot of things, but you're definitely not letting him see everything. There definitely is something hidden here that's about what's it about? You may have already freed yourself from some of these things he's still stuck in. I get the feeling with this card that at one point you were really, so there's a lot of like, you know, like the Arc de Triomphe in Paris where all the roads meet and then there's a big monument. They're giving me that kind of thing. It's like at one point you were very codependent and you were very much waiting on making decisions in your life about where to go. And I feel like you were so busy, like I can create all of these different things, and then when he shows up, we'll ride off into the sunset. It's not that straightforward, right? But it's like keeping options open. And now I don't get that feeling. Like I get the feeling like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I using all of my insane power, strength, mastery, self-love, psychic abilities, talents to create for this guy? I honestly am feeling that. Not that you don't love him, but it's like I can create exactly what I want, and then if he wants to be there with me or not, he can, but it's like I really don't care. That's the energy I feel right now. I feel like he's going to have to travel, metaphorically, so much farther than he would have had to before to get to you, because you're just on your way to Empress, right? Fool, Lovers, wow. Two of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Can't make it up. Knight of Cups. Yeah, I mean, he's really going to have to bring his emotional, he's going to have to match you. And I feel like it's a take no prisoners situation right now. Like you're on your way to Empress and you don't care about building things for him. You know what I'm saying? That's all metaphorically. But it's like, that's the energy I'm getting. And I think he is having this realization that if he doesn't start building, you're going to be so far away. You know, there's a fear here that you took your power back for sure. I hope that helps you. That was a really interesting reading. So thank you. That was a beautiful reading. Three of Cups. Oops. Oh gosh. Okay. If you want a reading, it's on my Etsy store, or for a really fast reading, it's on my Stan store. Here we go. Three of Pentacles. Oh no, I got all the crystals here reversed. Nine of Cups. That was in the first reading. Six of Cups. Well, now we have Cups, huh? 10 of Wands. Upright. So reversed, upright, reversed. 5. What? I don't know what I'm doing. I think this is supposed to be like this. And then this. Fool. Again. Hostilities. Walking away. Man, we have all of these like trapped and walking away energies. And I'm setting these cards up differently too, which is interesting. Okay, so 6 of Cups reversed. I just get this feeling like, what did I do? You're not even really showing up here. This masculine feels very, very alone. He's... So, there is an undeniable bond here. Like, it is so strong. He has been desperately trying to move on from you with everything he has. I get for some of you, the sunflower is an important flower. And again, you know, it's interesting. I feel like with these 3 readings, there's been like a link, but each in a different place. And the masculine here has a very strong will and kind of, I want to say plays victim a lot. Like, doesn't take responsibility for himself. There's something that's been going on with you. He's watched you. Look at that, rebirth. So the second card had the strength card, and I feel like in a lot of ways this is what's going on for him. Possibilities, understanding, morality, flowering, totality. Yeah, those I don't think are going to go. Letting go, slowing down, existence, past lives. So this masculine had a lot of emotional wounding. A lot. A lot of inner child problems. A lot of I think he just learned to get attention in a really negative way. And he's kind of seen that about himself, because I think he's going into the hermit stage of after the dark night of the soul. And that's an extremely, extremely lonely place. You are forced to go inward to understand. So if you've been someone that's an extrovert and you've always learned all of your lessons from other people and relationships, right? And you've never kind of gone inward. After you go through a dark night of the soul, you're forced into a hermit stage where you have to spend a lot of time really learning what you like, who you are, how to love yourself, how to like yourself. And I feel like if this resonates with you, then you went through that stage already, and you're in this beautiful flowering energy over here. And I think there's a big part of you that woke up after the hermit stage you were in and was like, it's interesting because you go through different stages, but you still marry each other, right? So, you're still always like drawing him forward, and you both feel like you want a more vulnerable relationship. This is what the Three of Pentacles is giving me. It's always about building something bigger than just yourself, right? It's always about a connection. You know, long ago, builders would begin building cathedrals they knew they would never see. And that is built on faith, right? It's like your great-great-grandparents had a family knowing, or your great-great-great-grandparents had a family knowing they would never see you. And that's the faith of what is going to be continued to be built on your legacy. And it's kind of beautiful that he sees you as so wise and beautiful and strong and enchanting and lovely, but also somewhat untouchable right now. It's like you lie beyond the scope of his ability to build something to get to you. And part of that is because of these burdens that he's never dealt with. He just gathered them all up, and he's just been, you know, you have this camel here and you have this guy here. And to me, there's kind of a big likeness in terms of I'm just going to carry everything on my back. And then you have this woman who's playing the flute and dancing on top of the camel. And this man of stone, he feels like he's become this man of stone. He's just, everywhere he goes, he takes all of this pain with him. And that's a rather mature understanding of your shadow, right? You wake up one day and you're like, I've had 5 relationships in a row, or friendships or jobs, and they've all turned out the same. Some people go their whole life that way and they never make the connection that it's their frequency, it's their trauma, it's what they're bringing to the table. And he feels basically like he can't get away from himself. Inside, he wants to break out of this stubborn ego fixation. He wants to follow you. He wants to be strong. He wants to build something. But to build something with someone else, you have to be vulnerable. You have to share. You have to compromise. You have to be like, this is what I want. And he's afraid that his fears, his trauma, his wounds, his scars have really pushed you away so far that you may never come back. There is a fear here. He has a decision to make. Lovers, the 3 of Swords. What is that? Death reversed. Queen of Cups. Lovers. 3 of Swords. He really, really wants to overcome this heartache. like he sees you as a mirror to him. He understands this concept. There's something he doesn't understand, though. I didn't do this for the other groups, but let's see if we can get something here keeping him from trying again. I'm taking this leap. This is what he's about to do. He's afraid that this is not safe for him. He's afraid he doesn't deserve it. You may be now with someone else. Some of you are with someone else for sure. You're either married, engaged, or thinking about it. And for him to come to you and be like, I want to talk about this. It's like, for him, it's just easier to be like, well, she's not coming to me. I guess she doesn't want me. I'll just sit here and be sad. But you're like, bro, I'm in the water. Like, I bared my soul to you. And you did nothing. That's what I feel like this is. I think you both have a little bit of work to do on your vulnerability. I think you're very much farther along than him. But there still is something here about being fully able to be vulnerable and being okay to be rejected. I do get a little bit of feeling of like you're both somewhat unapproachable at times. Don't take that the wrong way. I just feel like I don't know. I still don't have the answer I'm looking for. I do think he's just going to have to go through this period of aloneness to really understand himself. And there may be nothing you can do about that. You know, all you can do is really work on opening your heart and feeling secure and being able to express your truth, right? That's that unconditional love. It's like, yeah, I do love you. And I'm totally okay if you reject me. And it's not even a rejection. It's like, I'm totally okay just saying I love you. And it's not time for us to be together, or it may never be. And it's okay, because there's a lot of myself that I have that you doesn't depend on you loving me back. And I still feel like there's abandonment wounds here to be, I mean, good Lord, I don't even want to say it anymore because it gets so repetitive. I feel like all I do is work on my abandonment wounds and triggering and shadow work, and still they come up. So I do think you've gotten so far to be at the place where your masculine's really recognizing some of the stuff in himself. And I know if you had a very long hermit phase like I did, that you're like, oh my God, I can't do it. But you certainly can. And generally they do things faster than us because we've done all of that work. So I hope that serves you. If you want your own reading, it was 4444. I have them on my Etsy store and my Stan store, and I shall talk to you later. Bye.